Okay, cool. Hi, welcome to this short video. You'll have to excuse me, I am wrapped in a blanket because it's cold here and I'm kind of blending into the red background, but whatever. If you are a new client, welcome to the team. So this is basically a quick video to show you how to actually use MyFitnessPal to succeed in your goal. So why use MyFitnessPal? This is a guide for whether you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, or maintain a balanced diet. Tracking your food intake is actually just a really useful tool to help you reach your goals. Now, I'm putting first things first. Tracking calories can be helpful for every goal. So, like I said, if you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, whatever it is, tracking calories is not the enemy, despite what social media may have you believe. So, it often gets a bad rep, but by tracking what you eat, you're actually just gaining insights into your nutritional intake. You can identify areas for improvement and stay on top of your goals. So, the way I like to think of it is if you were overspending and you wanted to get into better financial shape, the first thing you would do is look at how much you're spending and on what. So, food is no different to money in that sense. So, that's the way I like to think about it. It's a useful tool to learn more about your nutrition, not a lifelong commitment. So it doesn't have to be forever. Once you've got that knowledge and you don't have like a specific goal, you can stop tracking calories and eat more intuitively. But you won't lose progress because you'll actually have a better idea of what you're consuming and the amounts that you actually need. Most people get it wrong and become tired of it. So most people end up using MyFitnessPal wrong and then not really getting anywhere with it. So we're going to set up an account together, basically, and I'm going to tell you the main things that you need to know to actually use MyFitnessPal to succeed. So we are going to download the app first of all and I'm using an iPhone, as you can see, because I don't have an Android because, well, I'm not going to go into that. So we're signing up. It's going to ask you a series of questions because MyFitnessPal will actually create you a plan. But if you've been assigned macros from a coach or you've calculated your own, then you'll need to put those in manually in a minute, which I would actually recommend doing that because MyFitnessPal is a bit renowned for underestimating the caloric needs. So we're going to set macros and calories by going into goals. And then in here, we're going to pop our calories in and just adjust the macros by the percentage. Um, so unless you get the premium version, you'll have to do it in percentages of 5. It won't be far off. So you just make it as close as you can and then just make like a mental note to be like, okay, fats are slightly over exaggerated, protein slightly under exaggerated, whatever. It'll be close enough. And then next, we're going to go to customize meal order. So this is basically how you prefer to structure your day. So just personalize this based off of your own preference, or if you've been given a plan to follow by a coach, then follow that structure, obviously. Now, MyFitnessPal will increase your calorie target if it's counting steps, which we don't want it to do because that activity has already been taken into consideration when either you or your coach calculated your calorie target. So we need to turn this off. So we go into, where is it? Steps, and then don't track steps. So to log a food, we're going to go into the food diary. So we're going to search this product and brand. And we're going to basically, if it's packaged, we're going to check that the amounts on the screen matches the amount on the packet. So checking they both agree that 40 grams equals 144 calories, which is great. And then we want to check that the real life portion is the same as we're logging. So here I am changing the portion to 60 grams. Um, I would always be weighing and logging in grams, not just guesstimating. So, for example, if we have here a medium avocado, one medium avocado could look different for many different people, and that won't be accurate. And something as calorie dense as an avocado could make a huge difference to our day total. So it's always best to track everything in grams. Easiest way to do this is either you can weigh the original thing, so weigh the pack of oats, take out what you need, and then put the pack of oats back on the weighing scales and see how much you've taken. That one involves a bit of maths. Or the way I do it is I just put the plate on the scales, set the scales to 0, and then just add what I want until it's reached the amount that I've pre-planned. And that takes no extra time, no extra brain work, and that's why we like it. So, yeah, log in everything in grams. I'd also avoid using measurements such as cups, tablespoons, teaspoons. Those can vary a lot from person to person as well. So, we want to add the rest of our food. And then, if this is a meal that we have often, we can save it as a meal so that we don't have to input things individually every time. And the same goes for if you batch cook something. So we'll just save this as avocado toast. And then, yeah, say we made like a chili or something, we would put it in here, add the recipe, the ingredients, and then the number of portions that it serves, so that when we go to add one portion into our food log, it's done all the maths for us. It's divided it by 4. You can also copy meals from different days, which I just tend to do a lot. Once you've input your meals, scroll down to the bottom to check the nutrition tab. Now, this will show you your macros and how far or close you are to your target. So, this is when you decide where you're going to adjust the ratios of food in your meals to meet your targets. So, if this sounds difficult, I do have a free macro cheat sheet available to anyone who might be struggling to hit a particular macro or combination of macros. So here we're taking out the butter to reduce fats, and then we're slightly under on carbs still. So we're going to increase that potato. So can you see how we're just playing with the ratios to hit our targets, and then we'll go back and check it. Still slightly under on carbs, so we will go back and add some fruit to have with our chocolate, and now we're looking pretty good. So um, it's really important to hit all 3 macro targets because that is going to reduce cravings, balance your energy levels, help your hormone health and stuff. A lot of people struggle with the protein target. So, a really good tip for hitting your protein target is dividing it by the number of meals you are having that day. So, if your protein target is like 120 and you have 4 meals a day, then that is 30 grams per meal. And no, I didn't just pause to calculate that. Yeah, so you'd want to have like, you'd be looking to have roughly 30 grams per meal to make sure that you're not getting to the end of the day and thinking, oh my God, I've still got 60 grams of protein to hit. Um, which brings me on to my next point, pre-planning. Pre-planning is the solution to most problems. You've no opportunity to make poor or impulsive choices if you get to, if you're out and about and you're hungry and you have to make a choice about what to get from the supermarket or from the nearest cafe or something, like it's much more easy to make a poor or an impulsive choice because you've not pre-planned. It reduces thoughts about food because you're not thinking about where your next meal's coming from and what you're going to have, and about all the options. You're not getting overwhelmed with decision making because, like I say, you're not getting to the end of the day and thinking, oh my goodness, I've got 60 grams of protein to hit. How am I going to do this? No, it's too hard. I'm just going to give up on my goals for today. You've no chance of under eating or not hitting your protein, or any macro for that choice. Like I say, you're not going to bed with, 100 grams of carbs still left and thinking, well, I'm not going to have 100 grams of carbs before I go to bed because I'm going to be wide awake. And you don't have to do any mental maths on the day, like I said earlier, with the tracking, deciding how much of a portion you're going to have and stuff, and trying to work all that out on the day is just going to lead to tracking fatigue, and you're just going to get tired, and you're going to be on your phone constantly when you're weighing out your food and stuff, and that's not what we want. So I always instruct clients to pre-plan their day on MyFitnessPal, so you don't have to make any decisions or do calculations on the day, because this becomes a lot trickier, especially once you've already started eating and then you've got less calories to play with. And making decisions on the day like that also often increases food noise, which, like I say, it's not something it, most people want to avoid it, especially if you do struggle with under or overeating. Most people come to me to wanting to reduce their food noise. So that's a really, really important point about pre-planning. So lastly, my clients will actually add me as a friend so I can view their food diary and then just make adjustments where needed. And that helps them optimize their diets in a way that is tailored around them rather than just giving them a generic food plan and saying good luck. So to add a friend, you just add them by their username. And that's pretty much it. So if you've got any questions, do feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. Or if you want a free copy of my macro builder, my cheat sheet that I mentioned, just message me and I'll send it over. But cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.